wanted to, this is like, it's what you call a reply brief, right? Like an argument. Because, Black Knowledge, that's my brother, right? So we real tight, and I respect what he was saying, about boxing Shaw, Lacey. But even though I vouched for him, he vouched for me, whatever, the thing is, I understand why he's seen it the way, because he swears that's the way he's seen it, right? I mean, that's really baffled me, but I got to give it to him. If that's what he's seen, then I'm gonna have to tell him why that's what he's seen, right? The reason why it looked that way is because Nacy's my motherfucking man, my brother. What I look like beating up on my brother every day. I mean, it's clear. He knew it. I dropped him 2 times. The first time we sparred. I got a lethal left hook to the body. I still got it. So, he knows that. And it ain't like he can't fight. But it's just that I might have been a little, maybe 5 pounds heavier than Nacy. And as you want to see when Canelo fights Crawford, no little man ever beats no good little man never beats a good big man. So Nacy was he might have been like a super welterweight, but I was a middleweight. I fought pro as a middleweight. So, I was in there with Alex Ramos, all these guys that they hit like a horse. They hit you to the body and you feel like you got kicked by a zebra. So, they just, nobody could hurt me on that team. Boxing, Shaw included. So when this is let me try to remember what he said. He said that if he had scored on points, then he would have to give it to Boxing Shaw. And then he also said that he would have to be the same way with my sparring sessions with Nacy. Now, if you know, and of course we all know about boxing, but not all of us are good boxers, right? So any good boxer will tell you the last thing you want to do is beat up on your sparring partners. Now, I mean, you might do that in the streets, but in prison, you only got a few sparring partners. But I can't. First of all, I'm gonna lose a sparring partner. Second of all, I'm gonna get kicked out of the boxing program. You can't be sending motherfuckers to the hospital, programs like that. So what happened is, once we realized I was the dominant fighter with double, triple his experience, 5 times his experience, 20 times his experience, I lightened up. That's what I always do. What I do, I take charge right away. Let a motherfucker know. Bang, look, this is what you fucking with. You understand me? Anytime I want, I can do this. So, be easy. After I drop a dude like that, it's basically let him know, damn, what you think he's thinking about? Never got dropped like that, especially a body blow. Motherfuckers thinking a lot, man, believe me. I never got dropped by a body blow. But I could imagine what goes through a motherfucker's mind, because it's like you paralyzed. You can't even move. Because that's the way Nacy looked. He couldn't move. He wanted to get up. I even remember him pushing, like, he was on his knees and he's trying to push himself up, like he wants to get up and he can't. So what's the point in me? Or this is what I did. At that point, once we realized I could take him out anytime I want, what I did was, now let's box. I'll play your game. You the boxer. So now I will box you. And since you're smaller, you look faster. Actually, the only way I'm gonna slow his ass down with to the body itself. And I didn't do that anymore. So what you saw was, oh shit, he's still up. Oh, you see that I ain't knock him out. So, and he's, definitely nice. Don't get me wrong. He stunned me at least twice. I ain't gonna take that away. He got a sneaky, fast right hand, blazing. So we go at it, but I would lighten up, man. I can't, I just couldn't put everything on it. I don't know if you know anything about punches, but you could put 60, 30, 80, or 100% on it. So after I dropped him twice, anytime we sparred after that, I give him about 60%. That's the only way he gonna keep sparring with me. Trust me. So I've been through that. I used to go to 3 different gyms trying to get sparring. Can't get no sparring because I hurt these motherfuckers the last time. So I know, and I'm in there for wreck. I'm not in there for trying to, especially Nacy, somebody like that. Now, Boxing Shaw and me, we wasn't tight at all. We only sparred a few times. Dudes try to make it like, nah, man. Only time Shaw ever caught me clean, I was going home in 1 or 2 weeks. My mind was in the streets. And if you know anything about boxing, 90% your mind, 90% mental. So, I wasn't shit. I got in there with him. Yeah, of course. I'm not gonna, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna not spar with him. But they knew I was out there in the streets, basically, you know what I mean, in the streets in prison. I was getting high. I didn't give a fuck. I'm getting home. The pressure of going home, believe me, man, it's a big, it's a big change in your whole attitude. So anyway, I think I explained that part in the last film. But I wanted to straighten that out with Nacy for sure, and even Boxing Shaw. The only time he caught me was that 1-2. And I don't forget it because he surprised me nice and did not drop me at all. I looked at him like, I'm pretty sure you see some fighters look at you like, yo, that's all you got. You understand me? That's come on now. Even when Boxing Shaw was alive, may rest in peace, we used to like send messages from box to box. He'll be in one box, I'll be in another box. And we'd be beefing, just joking though. Nah, about that, I used to, you used to fight. Nah, man, let them know. Remember that time, So we, I know if he was to be serious and tell the truth, he would say the only boxer in the state of New York that I would have to train my ass off for, because won't have to train for nobody else. But if he know he would have to train Olympic style, and maybe he'll beat me, but he's not. So I just want to straighten that out. Now also the reason why I was thinking about it, because I was thinking about my man Macho Camacho. So I really wanted to dedicate this slot to Hector Macho Camacho, because I never did that. And when he passed away, I was in Attica in the snake pit, and I cried for a week. You understand me? And that's one of the very few times I cried up there. But the reason why I cried is because I'm gonna tell you a little story about Camacho. I met Camacho one night. I was supposed to fight. It was a pro fight. But in the weigh-in, they saw me, the trainers saw me, and they didn't want to fight me because they had recognized me from the gyms. My record didn't scare them, but when they seen me, they pulled out of the fight, so I didn't get to fight that night. But I got introduced in the ring with Camacho. And who else was there? Shit, I can't remember everybody real quick. I think Greg Hogan, I can't remember, Richie Sandoval, who's that tall? Was tall brother too. I forget his name. But anyway, they was all world champs. I was the only one that wasn't world champ that was introduced that night. 5 of us standing in the ring. So they had paid me that night. It's called a standby. What that means is they want you to be there just in case they got a fighter that can fight you. So they give you like, it's usually like a little $100, and you get a seat to the fight. And so what happened with me is they fucked around and paid me the fight money. They paid me $400. Now I'm not gonna lie, I was surprised, because the fight was $400. I was getting paid to be a standby, but being from the Bronx and being from New York, I wasn't gonna argue with him. I wasn't gonna ask him, why does it say $400? So yeah, took that, went to Mexico, and it was like I had $10,000. But anyway, getting back to Macho. So what happened with Macho, I had a trainer there, Miguel Diaz. Miguel Diaz, you see him all the time in all the fights. He's in one of the champions' corners. So he's from Argentina, good brother. So he was my trainer, and I was telling him I wanted to go back to Cali, and so he said, look, what you want to do? I don't mind training you, but your manager, he left, and he's the one that used to pay me, because I had a manager, his name was Sugar Ray Phillips. Sugar Ray Phillips was a cool brother. He had fought Marvin Hagler, and he introduced me to Richard Steele. Matter of fact, Dick Steele, Richard, you see all the time in that boxing thing. He the one that put Sugar Ray Phillips onto me. So Sugar Ray started, spending money on me, paying my room, all this stuff. But unfortunately, Sugar Ray Phillips was a heavy gambler. He would sit at the Keno table, spend $18,000, lose it all. So one morning when I got up thinking everything was all good, he didn't come to pay the motel room. So, I'm kind of glad he didn't, because I had drunk like 3 coffees. They give you free coffee over there, or tea. So if I don't know what got into me, I drunk like 3 teas, maybe just 2. But my mind started going crazy, right? And I gotta rob this dude, man. He's getting ready to, leave me like a bad habit. See little things here and there about him, hangovers, staying up all night, you know what I'm saying? So I say, and he got mad jewelry, crazy jewelry. Now, I never did none shit like that, in the boxing world. Very big battle for me, because I knew once I did that, my whole career in boxing would be over, no matter what. Coach, can't do nothing. So, because Sugar Ray was loved. Hedgeman Lewis, I see Hedgeman Lewis all the time, give me chips. Everybody loved him. So, but I was desperate. I was broke, and I'm a survivor. So I was literally waiting for him to come to the motel room to bag him. It's just crazy. And he didn't come. So, that's when I went to my trainer. I said, that's when my trainer told me, he left him a note. Say, do whatever you want with Duran. I can't, I'm a good fighter, but I got to get more money. Some shit like that. I was like, oh, shit. So I told Miguel, Miguel, introduce me to Camacho, man. I seen Camacho, I said, do me a favor, introduce me to him. He said, oh, you want to meet Camacho? I said, yeah, just, tell him I'm from New York, blah, blah, blah. He said, took me over there, introduced me to Camacho, and me and Camacho was like love at first sight. It was like, we didn't stop talking. And he took me with him the whole night. We hanging out. And I even drunk beer in front of him. I didn't give a fuck. I drank 2 beers. That's how confident I was as a fighter. Because remember, the whole night, all he's telling me is, yo, you sure you think you can spar with me? Blah, blah, blah. And I said, yeah, that's why I'm asking, you know, your sparring partner. Because, yeah, so he asked me about that. We had to look, you know, a lot of good talks and shit. And then the next morning, this is the kind of great brother that Camacho is. You know, we talking about how dudes, you know, they don't put the next man on when they get on. They don't try to help nobody else. But here it is. I was not in New York. He was not in New York. I was like the only other Puerto Rican around. And I told him my story. You understand me? I told him, look, man, this dude just took off. I was supposed to fight tonight. I was wondering, man, you know, and I just told him, you know, we're just talking, and we just kept talking, and he just took over from there and said, look, man, I'm going to take you with me tomorrow. You know, you want to come to Bell, California? She said, yo, all right. So she said, come to my room tomorrow morning. So I went. I remember I was being a little shy about it, you know. Oh, whoa, I skipped a very, very important part. All right, so I told you he was taking me everywhere with him. We like homeboys, you know, going around Vegas. I'm talking about Vegas. You know, he's a big star at that time. It's 80, you know, and he's a big star at that time. So, what happened there? Oh, yeah. This is a part I hate to tell, man, but, you know, when I tell my stories, it's the reason I tell them, man. You know, they true, right? I mean, they true, and I'm just laying out some shit that I was thinking about might have not been right. You understand me? Some foul shit. So I remember when he took me up to his room, and I realized it was just me and him all alone. And it crossed my mind, you know, I need to bag him because I'm desperate. I got to get back to New York. I need money, and he got all that jewelry on. That's enough, just the jewelry. I don't need no look for money and none of that. Just what he got on is enough. You know, I'm from the Bronx, right? That's what we see. So, so I swear, man, this is the truth, man. And I'm just gonna say it because I want to be forgiven by Camacho if he's listening. That I even thought like that. But I just met him that night, so I can't be that bad. You know what I'm saying? I just met him. All I see is the jewelry. All I know is what I need. And it's a possibility I'm gonna bag him. When I was in the motel or in the hotel with him, it was Riviera. I hate to say that, man, but this is what happened. I started, you know, thinking about after I bag him, what I'm gonna do, right? What am I gonna do? So I said, damn, I can't do this, I can't do that, you know. And then all of a sudden, he just talked to me. Whatever it was like some kind of magic came into that room and told me, don't you dare. Don't you even think about nothing like that. And then what really happened is that his love, right? He had a heart. He had he was a good brother. You understand me? Besides the boxing thing. Because you understand me, with all that jewelry, I won't have to box no more. So it wasn't that. It was because he was just too beautiful as a man. You understand me? He was just too naturally beloved. So I just couldn't do it. And of course today, I'm so happy that I didn't do that. Right now, that would be one of them things that you just can never forget. You understand me? I would never be able to forget that. I won't be able to sleep. I have a hard time sleeping now. Imagine that. I'll be thinking about him. Nah, man, I can't mess. I'll be thinking he's messing with me, you know what I mean? Like he's still around or something. So I'm glad I didn't do that. And I recommend anybody that, you know, be in that kind of position and the brother's telling you he's going to help you, you got no reason at all to rob them. And if you do rob them, you won't feel it. Don't forget, I did 27 years just for possession of a weapon, 3rd degree. And now, as you can see, it was never a crime at all. So, I don't want to talk about that right now. But yeah, so I just wanted to make sure that I told my story. There's a lot more with Camacho. I just wanted to make sure. Okay, I'll tell you about what happened real quick. So what happened is, the next morning, he told me, "Yo, come back upstairs. Come get me tomorrow, whatever, and we're gonna get on the plane." So I remember I was hesitating. So Miguel seen me, and he said, "Oh, what's up? I thought you was with Camacho." I said, "Yeah, man. Well, he told me like, yo, give him a call, and we go, But he said, come on, man, let's go." He took me over there. We got on the phone with him. I said, "Yo, come on up, man." I'm bugging. Young professional fighter. I'm bugging because Camacho, I was watching him. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was a superstar. So when he said come up to his room, like, I was like, damn, man, this dude trusts me like that. He don't even know. Like, you understand me? I was young and dumb back then. And I was like, damn, this dude just tricked me in his room and shit. Look, I'm looking at his jewelry and shit. I'm like, yo, this is too fucking easy. You understand me, right? So anyway, my mind cleared up, thankfully. And then I made sure that, and the crazy thing about that is that when I was doing my time, I tried to write to Camacho a couple of times. Like I sent it to Ring Magazine and shit, hope they sent it to him. Right? So I used to be mad at him thinking that he got, just didn't, what I mean? Like, didn't do nothing to help me. And then he died. And then I started really thinking about the quality of man, right? And how could you don't even realize what somebody's going through. Like, I'm out here now. I got brothers up there, up north. I'm sure they know I'm a retired rat hunter. I got a lot of brothers up there that know me. And I don't, I can't spread my love like that out there because I want to stay free. But thankfully, good brothers like, shout out to Perico, shout out to J-Rock, shout out to whoever else I used to run around the yard with. My thing is very simple. When I told that story, that's why I wanted to tell this, because when I told the story about the Brooklyn mob riot, I left that out. So now you know that them tables are rat hunter tables. So when I told, and by the way, Big L, he didn't. It wasn't Big L. Just in case, I know y'all heard the story. But I'll tell you one thing about Big L. Big L didn't give me no jammy, for that purpose at all. I got the jammy from the window. What you think I was doing on the other side? I told you, they was on third base. That's where my courts is at. I got 2 courts. So what they did, they took 1 court, right? And they figured, yo, he gonna be happy because he's all alone, We left him a table, he should be feeling good about that shit. Yeah, I understood that, but what they didn't know is that I need both tables. Because when my people gets here, them tables gotta be there for them. Just like when I went to the medium, because remember I told you, I went to the medium 2 weeks later, and guess what? I came back to Attica 3 months later, again. And when I got back, guess what? My tables. So all I'm saying is, Black Knowledge, you my motherfucking brother, you know that. And I understand what you saw. I totally get that. You could be sitting there, you know, you just see, oh shit, you know, he's looking nice now. Whoa, he ain't on the floor. Look at the, oh shit, he did a whole 2 rounds, didn't get dropped. Yeah, I get that. But he knows it. I lighten up on him. Even boxing sharp. Once I knew I could hurt boxing sharp, and you gotta understand, he's a superstar. So what I look like taking his head off, and then I was fighting pro. You understand? I was lucky they was letting me spar. So that's the real story. Not to say knowledge is lying, because he's telling his truth. He's telling what he saw with his eyes, according to him. But now I'm telling them why he saw what he saw. Otherwise, it's always the same. Whatever you do in life, and you get all fucked up, start thinking, I got nothing to lose and everything to gain. I used to say that a lot. I got nothing to lose. Yeah, man, you got a whole lot to lose, brothers, if you out here. A whole lot. I'm telling you now, it don't matter. It don't matter how lovely you got it in prison. Look at Diddy. No Diddy. Right? You can't have the same. Yo, listen. Your worst day out here is still 10 times better than your best in prison.